The first human heart transplant was performed in 1967 in Cape Town. This pioneering feat was unfortunately unsuccessful, and the patient died within a few weeks. But as time went on, techniques were improved, outcomes became more favourable. Fast forward to 1981, and Bruno Reichart carried out Germany's first successful heart transplant.
That started the renewal of heart transplantation in Germany, because everybody thought if such a stupid guy can do it, we can do it as well.
Bruno went on to do Germany's first heart-lung transplant and became the president of the International Federation for Heart and Lung Transplantation.
One of my first patients is still alive after, I think, 35 or 36 years now. Yeah.
Nowadays, more than 5,000 heart transplants are performed every year around the world. But waiting lists are growing, and it's becoming more and more difficult to find donor hearts for those in desperate need.
Well, it's a story of success. Yeah? You need more and more organs, and the donor pool is the same, or it gets even smaller, especially in Germany. No way in the future there will be enough hearts to just suffice the needs. So.
It's because of this problem that Bruno became interested in a new type of heart transplant.
I'm involved in the field in heart transplantation since 1998.
Xenotransplantation is transplanting an organ from one species into another. In particular, Bruno works with pig hearts, and his trials are not using humans, but baboons. Bruno's hope is that in the future, pig organs could be used for life-saving transplant surgeries.
Because the heart is only a pump, a muscle, contracts, pumps blood. It's a beautiful muscle. No technician can make a machine which lasts for 90 years or so, 80 years. They will just break, fall apart. Nothing will happen when you implant a non-human heart.
But xenotransplantation is exceedingly complicated. Human immune systems have evolved to reject foreign bodies, and it's taken decades to overcome these issues for human heart transplantation. Trying to achieve the same when the donor is of a different species, some have said would be impossible.
It's actually very difficult, and that's the reason why very smart people said it's not possible. The pigs were on our Earth approximately 90 million years earlier, and then that's a difference in the evolution between the animals then and the humans.
Despite the difficulties, Bruno and his team from Munich have now demonstrated the most successful trials to date. Again, not in humans, but in baboons. The transplanted pig hearts kept the baboon subjects alive for more than 3 times longer than ever before, and this has raised the eyebrows of some others working in the field. Here's Christoph Knosalla from the German Heart Center in Berlin, who was not involved in the work.
I realized that it is really a major step forward in heart xenotransplantation. The group from Munich was able to produce really a sustained survival of more than half a year. Before that, in this life-supporting transplants, the longest, it was a single longest transplant was 57 days.
In order to achieve this, Bruno and his team pulled together various techniques, some of which had been used by other groups, genetically modifying the pig donors and applying bespoke immunosuppression protocols to the baboons. They also needed to stop the hearts growing to their full size. Pigs are much larger than baboons, and so a full-sized heart would not fit into the chest cavity and would fail. Additionally, pigs have lower blood pressure than baboons as they stand on all fours, and so Bruno and his team had to use drugs to thin the baboon's blood to compensate. And finally, they changed the protocols surrounding the surgery itself. Pig hearts, it seems to Bruno, react differently to human hearts when it comes to transplants.
I think porcine hearts, they look like human hearts or like primate hearts, but they don't resist ischemia. Ischemia is the time when a heart is not supplied by oxygen and nutrition, and so they're more vulnerable. Yeah? And that was the big surprise.
Bruno used a machine designed by a Swedish group which bathed the donor pig hearts in an oxygenated solution and before transplant kept them a bit warmer than in previous attempts, at about 8 degrees centigrade. This helped prevent ischemia, which can lead to damage in the heart. Bruno described the surgery.
Then they bring in the porcine heart, and then they do the anastomosis, the left atrium, the right atrium, the pulmonary artery, and then you remove the air. It doesn't bleed because they have done it very meticulously, and you open the clamp and the heart is getting pink and it starts beating. That's, for me, it's amazing.
The survival of the baboon subject could be a significant step towards human trials of xenotransplantation. But there's still a lot of work to be done, and exactly how a human would react is still unclear. Here's Christoph again.
As it is not tried in humans, of course, this is not sure, because there are hormone incompatibilities which play a role. So researchers worldwide, also with other organs facing this problem.
There are also other concerns to overcome, like viruses found in pig DNA, which could possibly be transmitted to humans through a transplant. In particular, a family of porcine endogenous retroviruses known as PERVs. PERVs made the headlines last year when researchers demonstrated the use of CRISPR to edit PERV genes, but the problem remains to be completely solved. And underlying all of this work, there's a whole plethora of ethical conversations that need to be had surrounding xenotransplantation. So a lot of work to look out for in the future. But the science is progressing. So who knows? Perhaps in the near future, you'll be listening to this podcast reporting the first successful xenotransplantation. And with it, the next step in medical science.